Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Ari. If you're new here, you can check out some of my older videos and please subscribe if you like my personality, if you like this video. But anyway, let's get into it. As you can see from the title, yes, I left my job. It's the great wave of, what are we, millennials, right? Millennials like leaving the workplace when they're not being treated correctly or when it's a burden to them and when they're being weighed down, like we're finally like, F these shackles, let me up out of here. I took the leap and I left. And if you stay tuned, you'll hear about my experience and what I'm up to now. I know it's been a while since I made some content. There has been a lot going on, especially since I left my job. It has been a much needed struggle. I wouldn't say a struggle, but it was much needed for me to leave anyway. I hit 100 subscribers while I was off of YouTube. So that's awesome. I thought it was about time for me to make this. So I left my job in April of this year. We are now in October. This was, if you live in the Queen City, North Carolina, you're probably familiar with this place. It's a really big company and there are a lot of people here that work there. But I was with this company for 9 years. I was just very underappreciated and undervalued, and it was time for me to go. So, like I said, I was approaching my 9-year mark. I had tried out a few different positions. There were some interim management positions that I would go in and out of during the year. Like I would switch back and forth to these training, supervisor, actually manager type positions. Let's call it what it is. I was just, during the time I was there, it wasn't all bad. The company, basically, I was doing my manager's job. And I know this happens where we kind of get like this false sense of hope that our managers will recognize the hard work that we're putting into the company, into the team. But after a while of doing my job and doing my manager's job, I started to realize that wasn't going to happen for me. Me trying to advance, I was coming across these hurdles that didn't make any sense because I had the knowledge, I had the experience, but for some reason I could not advance. I guess the biggest final straw for me was when it started when I was applying for these permanent management positions, not interim management positions, and I wasn't getting them, and I wasn't understanding why I couldn't even get an interview when I had the experience. That wasn't making sense to me. And then the complaining from her started to become more and more frequent, and I was having to have these discussions with her like, if you want me to do this, if you want me to focus on this, I need to stop doing all of this other stuff that I'm not getting paid for, mind you. The very last thing when I was like, I've had enough was, well, she didn't give me my bonus. I do all of this work here. I do your work. I do their work. I do other people's work. I do all of this damn work and you can't give me my bonus? Because I can't do the work I'm supposed to do because I'm doing everybody else's work. A lot of companies, and I'm not speaking for everybody because there are some good companies out there, I'm sure, but a lot of companies will preach to you this thing of, you know, we're here for you. We want you to advance. I thought, you know, the way of my thinking in the past was if I'm loyal to this company, they'll recognize my hard work and they'll, you know, they'll advance me, they'll appreciate it. And I couldn't understand what the hurdle was and why I couldn't get past it. I reached out to HR. I was just fed up. I was honestly just fed up. After all of those years I've been there, I was like, it's about that time. Like, this is the universe telling me that I need to leave. I need to go. So for a while, I have been baking. I actually started when I was in college, when I got pregnant with my daughter. I started baking a little bit before I graduated to make a few extra dollars. My grandma always baked. She baked for church and stuff. So I grew up watching her do those things. And I bake stuff too, but I never really decorated things like that. So in college, I picked baking back up and I taught myself how to decorate things with fondant, buttercream, you know, all that jazz. I kept through it all of that time, and it's something I enjoyed. I didn't really have much time set for doing that because my job took up a lot of hours. You know, it wasn't just 9 to 5. By the time I finished getting my daughter from school, helping her with homework, dinner, whatever, I was tired. So I really was taking like, I really wasn't doing very much with my baking, but it was always, I put it on the back burner, but it was always on my mind that I want to be a business owner. I want to own my own thriving, successful business, and that's what I'm going to do. I was just hell bent on it. Like, you couldn't tell me otherwise. I just decided I'm just going to go all in, and I'm just going to, you know, put 100% of my focus on my business. And here I am months later, self-employed. That's what I've been dealing with for the last few months. Once I got, you know, my LLC registered, everything, I had to wait for my actual commercial space. That took some time. But once I got everything going, you know, I'm getting a few orders in, but I'm not rushing the process. I'm just so proud of myself and a thousand times happier now that I am free from that place and, you know, doing things on my own time. I'm putting 100% of my time into my business. There are some days where I get tired, just like when I was working, you know, my corporate job, where I need to just sit down and take a break, and I can do that without any consequence, and it's wonderful. Now, I'm not saying in any type of way that, you know, if you're working corporate or you have a regular job, that's a bad thing, because not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur or self-employed, and that's perfectly fine. But just make sure you know your worth. If that job does not value you, you need to go. You need to go and find somewhere else and negotiate your value too. If they are underpaying you, don't become complacent and don't settle for less. Like, life is too short to be settling for less. You see all these boxes in the background. I have a lot going on. But yes, I'm excited to share more of my new journey while I build my empire. And I'm excited to make a lot more new friends on YouTube. So if you want to follow me on social media, that information will be down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.